A real Oriental rug. It's not just decor, is it? It feels like holding a piece of history, something woven with, well, generations of skill. It's an investment in art, in culture.
Yeah.
So today, we're really going to dig into why expert care for these masterpieces isn't just a good idea, it's, frankly, essential. We've gathered some great sources, ones that treat these rugs almost like museum pieces, and our mission today, to boil it all down for you, give you the knowledge you need to see how professional cleaning done right doesn't just clean the surface, it actually brings back the original design, protects that heritage, and yeah, keeps its value stable.
Exactly. That word restoration is key. These rugs, they really are embodiments of incredible craftsmanship, culture, deep history. But here's the kicker. All that dirt, the dust, the grime that builds up over time, it doesn't just sit there looking bad. It literally physically hides the stories woven into the rug. So we're going way past just, wash, and we're talking about careful rehabilitation.
Okay, let's unpack that right away. What is it about these rugs, these woven artifacts that makes them so, well, so vulnerable? Why do they need such specific care? Because, a lot of people know they're wool or silk, but maybe not the consequences of that when it comes to cleaning.
Right. And what's fascinating, really, is that the very things that make them last so long, the natural materials, the traditional methods, also make them incredibly sensitive, especially to modern cleaning stuff. So take the materials. We're mostly talking natural wool, silk, sometimes cotton. Now, wool has lanolin, which is great, a natural protector. But these fibers, they hate harsh chemicals. And then the color palettes. Often these amazing rich colors come from natural dyes, vegetables, minerals, complex stuff. And here's something crucial our sources point out. Unlike a lot of modern synthetic dyes, these traditional ones, they can be very sensitive to acids, or rather alkaline agents. So if you use a standard carpet shampoo, most of which are alkaline, well, you risk immediate color bleed. Like, boom, gone. The depth, the vibrancy just ruined.
Whoa. So using a DIY method is basically like playing chemical Russian roulette with something potentially centuries old. That really puts the skill involved into perspective, doesn't it? The time behind every single pattern, every design motif, and those incredible weaving techniques, the hand knotting that machines just can't replicate.
Precisely. Every single aspect, from how tightly it's knotted to the natural dyes used, it all demands a tailored approach. Not a one-size-fits-all blast. And don't forget the emotional side. People get attached. That rug might have been passed down. So preservation isn't just about money, it's about memories, too.
That emotional connection and, yeah, the financial investment, too, that's exactly why we need to talk about expert help. Because you might look at a rug that seems a bit dull and think, just surface dust.
Yeah.
But the real damage is happening deeper down, right, at a structural level.
It absolutely is. Cleaning is so much more than just looks. Think about that embedded dirt and dust. It's not soft fluff. It's particulate matter. Tiny bits of silica, quartz, basically, sand. And when those tiny sharp particles get deep into the pile, down into the foundation, every time someone walks on it, crunch. It grinds those particles against the fibers.
Like sandpaper. You're essentially sanding the structure from the inside out with every step.
Exactly like sandpaper. That's the mechanical breakdown. That's what causes prominent fiber loss, that dull look over time. And if you let that deep dirt just sit there, well, you're inviting bigger problems. Moth larvae, for instance, they don't just eat the wool. They feast on all the trapped organic stuff, too. Plus, think about spills. Moisture gets trapped by that grime deep down in the cotton foundation, usually. Perfect breeding ground for mold or mildew you might not even see until it's too late.
And if the foundation goes, the whole rug basically unravels. Okay, so why can't someone just, rent one of those powerful steam cleaners from the supermarket and blast the dirt out? Seems logical.
That's a critical point. Most rental steam cleaners, first off, use high heat. Bad for wool. Second, they often use detergents that are highly alkaline, which, like we said, is disaster for natural dyes. But even more structurally worrying, they blast water deep into the rug's foundation. Now, if that foundation, the cotton or silk threads holding it all together, stays wet for too long, it swells, weakens, and you risk dry rot or mildew setting in. It might look clean on top, but be rotting underneath.
Okay. Disaster potential.
Right. Whereas professional care starts with expert knowledge. They know these risks. They use advanced techniques, specialized tools to get the dirt out without soaking that crucial foundation. And they have specialized equipment, things like high-velocity air movers or controlled drying rooms, designed specifically to get moisture out fast and efficiently.
Right. So let's walk through that professional journey then. Our sources really paint a picture of this meticulous, multi-step process. It's clearly not just tossing it in a big washing machine.
Huh, no, definitely not. Think of it more like a spa day, maybe even a medical checkup for the rug. It always starts with diagnosis. Step 1. Thorough inspection. A trained technician looks closely, sometimes under magnification. They're checking for stains, yeah, but also wear patterns, any signs of insects, weak spots. And critically, they do spot tests right away for color fastness. Before any major washing happens, they test how the dyes react to water and the specific cleaning agents they plan to use.
That test sounds like the crucial safety net, making sure those beautiful natural colors stay put.
It absolutely is. Non-negotiable first step. Once they know it's safe, then comes step 2, dust removal. And this might be, honestly, the most important part before washing. Remember that abrasive sand deep down, your home vacuum, it only gets the top layer. Professionals use specialized gear, sometimes it's called a tumor duster or other vibrating equipment. It uses gentle harmonics or compressed air to literally shake and vibrate the dry embedded grit out of the foundation. Key point. This happens before water touches the rug. You've got to get the sand out before you make mud.
Completely dry process first. That makes total sense. Okay, then what about the actual washing part?
Step 3 is the washing. And it's usually a gentle immersion or controlled flow process. They use mild, pH neutral, or slightly acidic cleaning solutions. These are chosen specifically to break down oils and grime without stripping the natural lanolin from the wool or harming the dyes, often applied carefully with soft brushes or controlled water flow. Then, step 4, rinsing and water extraction. Getting all that cleaning solution out is just as important. Thorough rinsing is key. And for extraction, many pros use large industrial centrifuges.
Like a giant salad spinner for a rug.
Exactly. It spins the rug incredibly fast and pulls out maybe 95% of the water through centrifugal force. This massively reduces the time the foundation stays wet, which, as we discussed, is vital to prevent structural damage, stretching, or mildew.
Right, that quick water removal stops the swelling and rot issues. Smart. And then comes the drying, which sounds pretty delicate too.
Yes. Step 5 is drying. The rug isn't just left hanging anywhere. It's usually moved to a climate-controlled drying room. They use powerful air movers, sometimes low, controlled heat, to ensure it dries thoroughly but also evenly so it doesn't shrink or lose its shape. And finally, step 6, the final inspection. They give it a really close look once it's dry, assess how well it's been revitalized. But just as importantly, they check if any small post-wash repairs are needed. Maybe reinforcing the fringe or rewrapping a side cord, little things that ensure its longevity.
That final structural check really connects to the long-term picture, doesn't it? What's really interesting is how this deep clean doesn't just make it look better, but it seems to actually structurally enhance the textile itself.
Oh, absolutely. It truly honors the original weaver's artistry. See, when dirt and grime compact the wool pile, the individual knots get squashed down. The rug feels kind of stiff, lifeless. By washing and drying it correctly, professionals essentially fluff up those fibers again. They relieve that compression. The pile blooms back up, restoring the texture, the softness, the light reflection the weaver intended.
And that restoration brings real, visible results. Our sources highlight 3 key things. First, it restores vibrancy, right? Because that thin film of grime covering every fiber is finally gone, letting the light hit the clean dyes properly.
Exactly. The colors just pop again. Second, it enhances contrast. All those intricate patterns that were looking muddy and blurred, suddenly they're sharp and clear again because the embedded dust is gone. You see the design as it was meant to be seen.
Makes sense.
And third, the ability to properly remove stubborn stains. Professionals have specialized spot treatments. They can target things like old pet stains or wine spills based on the stain's chemistry without damaging the surrounding fibers or colors. That's something almost impossible to do safely with off-the-shelf products at home.
And that visual improvement, that aesthetic return, it ties directly into maintaining the rug's value over the long haul. A beautifully kept rug isn't just nicer to live with. It holds its financial worth better.
Correct, especially for collectors, or even just for insurance purposes. Condition is paramount. By getting rid of that abrasive dirt that causes wear, and by spotting and dealing with hidden issues, maybe early signs of moth activity or a weak spot in the foundation, professional cleaning prevents potentially catastrophic value loss. Their expertise lets them see things an untrained eye would miss. So yeah, you could almost see regular professional cleaning as crucial asset management for these pieces.
Okay, so professional cleaning periodically is a must. But day-to-day, prevention has got to be key for homeowners, right? What are the practical things you can do yourself to protect this investment between those deep cleans?
Definitely. There are three main things. First, regular vacuuming. It's necessary, but how you do it is critical. Use a vacuum cleaner, but turn the beater bar or brush roller off. Or, if you can't turn it off, set it to the highest setting so it barely touches the pile.
Why is that so important?
Because those aggressive beater bars are designed for synthetic carpets. On wool, they can actually fuzz up the fibers, break them, cause excessive shedding. Basically, they chew up the rug over time. Use suction only or a very gentle brush attachment. Second big tip, think carefully about proper placement. Avoid direct, strong sunlight for long periods. UV light is brutal on dyes, especially the natural ones. It causes fading. And if the rug has to be in a high-traffic area, commit to rotating it regularly, maybe 180 degrees twice a year. This just helps distribute the inevitable wear and tear more evenly, so you don't get obvious worn paths.
Okay, rotation. Got it. And third, the spill thing. We always hear, blot, don't rub. But can you explain why rubbing is so bad mechanically?
Yeah, this is a really important one. When you rub a spill, especially vigorously, you're not actually lifting the liquid out effectively. What you are doing is forcing the liquid, plus any dirt particles already in the spill, deeper into the rug pile and potentially into the foundation knots. You're basically grinding the stain in, making it set faster, and you're physically abrading the fibers with that rubbing motion. It's damaging on multiple levels.
Oh, wow.
Whereas blotting, using a clean, absorbent cloth and applying firm downward pressure, uses capillary action. The cloth wicks the liquid upwards, lifting it out of the fibers with minimal disturbance or grinding. Blot gently, work from the outside of the spill inwards.
Yeah, okay, blot, don't rub. That makes much more mechanical sense now. What about padding? We should mention that too. Is a good pad underneath important?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely essential. The right padding does a few things. It stops the rug from slipping, obviously, but more importantly, it acts as a shock absorber. It cushions the impact of foot traffic, reducing stress on the rug's fibers and foundation. It also provides a protective barrier against any roughness or dirt from the floor underneath. Just make sure you get a good quality one. Avoid those cheap, sticky, waffle-like pads. They can sometimes react chemically with floor finishes or even the rug itself over time. A dense felt or rubber combination pad is usually best.
Good advice. Okay, so given how valuable these rugs are, culturally, financially, emotionally, the last big step is choosing the right professional. You clearly can't just trust this to any carpet cleaning company.
Absolutely not. You need a specialist, someone who truly understands and respects these textiles. If you're looking to hire someone, our sources give a pretty clear checklist. Start with solid research. Look for companies with a proven reputation, specifically in handling Oriental rugs. Check online reviews, testimonials, look for feedback mentioning careful handling of delicate, hand-knotted pieces.
Right, not just general carpet cleaning reviews.
Exactly. Next, zero in on their experience. Ask them directly. How long have you specialized in Oriental or Persian rugs? What specific types have you worked on? Their familiarity with different wools, silks, dyes, and regional weaving variations is absolutely crucial. It's not a job for beginners.
And I guess you'd want to check for credentials too, like certifications.
Yes, definitely. Look for certifications from recognized industry bodies focused on textile or rug cleaning. It shows they adhere to established professional standards and best practices designed to prevent damage.
Makes sense.
And finally, a really good sign. They'll insist on a consultation first. A reputable specialist won't just give you a price per square foot over the phone. They'll want to see the rug in person, or at least have a detailed discussion. They need to assess its specific condition, identify the fiber type, test the dyes, before they recommend a specific cleaning plan and give you a quote. That assessment process is key.
This has been incredibly helpful, really illuminating. We started out realizing that, simple dirt can actually obscure the history woven right into these rugs. And we end up seeing that professional care. It's way more than just cleaning. It's an investment in preserving art, culture, history, making sure these amazing pieces stay vibrant for, hopefully, generations to come.
It really is. And maybe here's a final thought to leave you with. Considering that every intricate design, every subtle color variation in these rugs comes from generations of knowledge, complex natural dyeing, painstaking hand weaving, just think about this. How much of that original artistic intent, that deep history, is actually lost or dulled every single day that layer of dirt and dust remains, obscuring the vibrancy the artisan worked so hard to create? In a way, proper preservation isn't just maintenance. It's like you're helping to complete the artist's original vision across time.